Hi everyone, I'm Nikki with PantryChic, and today I'm going to make my very first recipe for you guys, and it is going to be blueberry muffins. It's called To Die For Blueberry Muffins by Colleen, and I found it on allrecipes.com. So let's get started. I have all of my smart canisters back here, and it tells me I need 1.5 cups all-purpose flour first. So I'm just going to grab my all-purpose flour. I'm going to place it on the base unit, just like that. It says all-purpose flour up here, and I'm just going to dial in 1.5 cups. Push the button twice to confirm. So as it's dispensing 1.5 cups, I usually like to do something else because now my hands are free and already finished. So what I'm going to do is just spray my tin to get ready. And it's already done. It beat me. Okay, so let me just spray my tin. We're all set. And I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to move on to the next ingredient. Okay, so the next ingredient is 3/4 cup white sugar. And I'm going to place this on the base unit as well. Okay, it's registered, and I am going to bring it down to cups, and it's only 3/4 of a cup. Now that gets dispensed. I'm going to move this to the side, and I'm going to start cracking. Actually, I'm going to do 1/3 cup of vegetable oil and get that done while it's dispensing. We're finished with the 3/4 cup of granulated sugar, and now I'm going to move to the next one, which is 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So I have my salt up here, and this is a little one, so the small canisters fit snug into these little metal clips. I just want to give it a nice secure push down to make sure it's fully inserted in there. And then I said teaspoon, yes, so 1/2 teaspoon. It's at 1/4 right now. I'm just going to bump it up. Dispense that. That is done, I'm sure really fast. Okay, I'll pull that out. And I want to make sure I push down that the airtight seal is reinstalled on a flat surface. And I'm going to go for the next one, which is baking powder. So I'll put my baking powder on, same way as I did the salt in the metal clips, push it down securely. And it is 2 teaspoons. So 2 teaspoons, we're on teaspoon already. I gotta just dial in 2. And while that does that, I'm going to quickly crack my egg. And what I was saying before is, whoop, there we go. The recipe calls for you to fill the remaining portion of wet ingredient with milk up to the 1 cup line. So it's not an exact measurement, but they said it's about 1/3 of a cup. So if you prefer to use the scale, you can equate that accordingly. So the baking powder is done. And now, oops, put this back in its home, make sure the seal's all set. And now we're on to the wet, because we're already done with our dry ingredients. So the PantryChic system just did all of that measuring for me. I'm going to put this aside, follow my ingredients on my app over here. That's what I'm looking at as I'm talking to you. I'm gonna give this a quick whisk with a fork. Just break it up a bit. Okay, and then I am going to grab the milk. And I'm going to fill the milk per the instructions to the 1 cup line. And there we are, 1 cup, perfect. Okay, so I'll mix this again. Take my bowl, bring this out here, okay. I'm going to give a little whisk. And as I pour this into the dry ingredients, I'm going to just keep whisking it up. And it says it's okay if it's a bit lumpy. We don't want to overmix the recipe. So I'm going to just quickly mix this up. So this looks pretty good. I'm going to see if I can show you guys. So far, so good. And now we just have to fold in my blueberries. It says a cup. I'm gonna eyeball it, excuse me, because I like a lot of blueberries and I think I have decent judgment there. Okay, I think I'm gonna use, that's probably good enough. So I have 3 kids and 2 of them loved blueberries when they were little. All 3 of them actually did, but 2 of them absolutely loved blueberries. Every morning we would have blueberries. And guess what? They're 6 years old now. They don't like blueberries anymore. But when I put them in muffins, they love them. For some reason, they love them. Go figure. That's how these little kids work, right? Okay, so I have my blueberry muffin batter ready to go. And I'm just gonna clear these out of the way. My oven's preheated, ready to go as well. Perfect timing. And now I'm going to just scoop these in all the way to the top. The recipe calls for it to go all the way to the top. So I'm going to do that. And while I do this, when I finish this, I'm going to show you how to make the crumble for the top. Okay, so I finished filling the pan with the mixture, and you can stop right here and just put it in the oven right now, or you can make the crumble topping, which I'm going to do because I love those when you go to the deli, when you go and you see the tin right there and all of the muffins are kind of spooling over the top. So I'm going to try and attempt to do something like that and make that sugary crumble. Okay, so I have the ingredients for the crumble is white sugar. So I'm going to put the bowl, which I already have my butter, a 1/4 cup of butter, which I measure that by just measuring it off of the stick of butter. And then I cut it into cubes per the instructions. So I'm going to come back here and grab, I said, the 1/2 cup white flour. So we're going to put that one back on. Okay, so we're going to do a 1/2 cup. There we go. So while it's dispensing a 1/2 cup, I'm going to grab the flour because that's next. Next is a 1/3 of a cup of flour. And that's done. You'll notice that I'm always pushing these down when I put them on a flat surface to make sure that the bottom airtight seal is reconstituted. So when I put them on the base unit, the airtight seal is lifted, and I don't want to compromise that. So as you can see here, this is actually perfectly, this is a little wobbly. It's not seated properly. So what I'm going to do is on the bottom, I'm just going to twist that because that should help me get it in now. Perfect. There we go. Okay. So I have to do a 1/3 of a cup. Okay, so a 1/3 of a cup. Okay, now I'm going to grab the cinnamon. I love putting cinnamon in lots of things, so I have my canister for cinnamon. Give it a nice snug push, and it says 1½ teaspoons. I'm already on teaspoons and 1, so I'll just go 1½ Okay. Okay, so then I'm going to need a fork to mix this all up. And just seat this. Sometimes I like to push this. See? Secure that airtight seal. I'll put this back like that. Okay, so we're done. I'm just gonna crumble this up with a fork. And while I do this, I'm going to see how long do I need to put this in the oven. 25 minutes. 20 to 25 minutes. Now, I'm going to sprinkle this yummy goodness on here. I'm going to just do a little. It should be clumpy, obviously, because you have your butter cubes. I'm just going to do a little here. Oops. I don't want to miss that butter piece. There we go. Okay. Show you a couple, and then when I'm done, I'll put it in the oven. I'll complete this up, put it in the oven, and when they come out, I'll show you the final result. See you in a bit. Okay, I'm finished putting on the topping. Now I'm gonna put it in the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes. Oh my, they came out and they look yummy. Oh, it's just like in the deli when you go to the counter and you see them spooling over. Yes, I think it was a success. Okay, I let them cool for a couple minutes, but I can't wait anymore. So let's give it a whirl. I'm gonna try the little guy because I wanna save the other ones for my family. Okay. Ooh, look at that blueberry gush. This one had a blueberry gush. Okay, it's super hot still. But there you go. I'm going to, actually, I'll just break it. I'll just break it up. Ooh, it's moist. I don't know if you can see in there all those blueberries, but perfect. Looks so moist. It's going to be hot, hot, hot. The top has a nice crunch to it. It's extremely moist and delicious. I think this is going to be a winner in my household. Thank you so much for joining me on my first baking experience. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like this recipe, I'll make sure I post it on our Facebook page and Instagram. And please follow us on Instagram and Facebook and share comments and feedback and any recipes that you'd like me to try as I'm experimenting with our PantryChic system. Okay, happy baking!